Hello and welcome. My name is Errity Green and this is Wise Woman Television, and today I am bringing you a pick a card reading on your next steps in career and finances, or what's next in career and finances. So I first encourage you to like and subscribe if you find you like this video, and support this channel as I support you. And then I also want to let you know I do offer both personal readings as well as coaching programs to support you in your life, in your work, and in your spiritual path. And I make myself chuckle. So, haha. All of that to say, coming back around again, I will be putting up your card pile choices now. You have 3 to choose from. Okay, so card pile 1. What's next in career and finances? Okay, so something new has been born within you. This feels like a new embodiment, a new self, a new version of you. Like you've stepped into your power in a bigger way. You're anchoring your power in a bigger way. You're grounding your power in a bigger way. So what I mean by that is you've done some healing and growth work that has sort of released or surrendered some of those old programs or stories or narratives around what you can't do, or what's not possible for you, or what you're not capable of, or even what you kind of told yourself you didn't want or care for or value when in truth you actually did. The part of you that said you didn't want it was the part that didn't want to have to put in the work to do it, or put in the effort, or make the risk, or whatever that was, or take the risk. And it's like, you know, like I'm trying to show you through my body language, like you kind of stepped full into your power and you ready. So you're ready for that next thing. Whatever that thing is, I don't know quite yet, but you're stepping into your role of greater personal power, of taking control of your life, as well as your purpose path, your purpose work. Perhaps you do own your own business. I feel like for some of you that would be relevant. For some of you, you're stepping more into your spiritual awareness and perhaps even bringing this into your work in some way. That's not going to be the case for everybody, obviously, but I do feel some sense of priestesshood. Now, I will say that the card is priestess, and that's why I want to make sure that I give some words to that. But ultimately what it's really about and what the primary energy is just coming into your own power, grounding that power, meaning not just this knowing of your own power and kind of intellectually being able to say it or verbalize it, or even just feel it, but that you're now going to start anchoring that by doing the things you once wouldn't or couldn't do, by saying the things you once wouldn't or couldn't do. There's actually a desire here to bridge heaven and earth and bring about some actual, tangible, physical changes in your life. And you are taking the step and sort of embodying this new, greater personal power, like we said, but also self-responsibility, recognizing that you're the only one who can do this. You're the only one who's going to be able to make it happen. You're the only one who's going to be able to make this change. And so you're doing it. And you ready. Like I said, it just feels like just this summoning. Like, let me show you this beautiful picture and see if you can get the energy from that I'm receiving here. So I don't show every card. It can throw me off sometimes, but I do like to show the ones that offer a lot of meaning or power or impact, and I really feel like that does. And this is new for you. This is a new birth for you. So this is what's coming next in career and finances. Now, because you've stepped into personal power, you are now availing yourself to greater abundance, material wealth, monetary wealth, but it feels like this greater earning potential because you are stepping into your own creative ability and your own personal responsibility such that you're able to summon that, right? If you don't feel powerful, if you don't feel capable, if you don't feel confident, if you can't step into your own creative ability, it's going to be difficult to summon more success or whatever it is, whatever kind of abundance you seek toward you. That's going to be very difficult if you're not owning it. But you're owning it, and so as a result, you're getting things on command. Like, it just feels like you were stepping into a place that kind of reminds me of Thanos, but not bad Thanos. If you guys know the movie where he snaps his fingers, and I haven't even seen the full movie, I'm just aware of like the basics. And like, you can snap your fingers and you command it. Snap your fingers, you command it. Snap your fingers and you command it. You're starting to get to know that in yourself, that you can actually manifest whatever you want, but it's going to be up to you to do it, and like to do the damn thing and to summon it, to command it. That's on you. And you're seeing yourself for your own abilities. You're recognizing that in yourself. And so you're now able to create more whatever success, abundance that you seek in your career and finances. Some of you are now seeking out a career change as a result of this new embodiment, of this new awareness and expansion of yourself. You're trying to decide even like what this change is going to look like, how it's going to come about, what you're going to do, like some of the practical aspects of it. But some of you, because you've shifted so much on the inside, some things are shifting on the outside. Okay, so that's the first thing that's coming up. Some of you are wanting to step into, again, for some of you, it could be a business. For some of you, it's more spiritual practice or some kind of spiritual work in whatever job or work that you have. But there's really owning it and ensuring that you connect that with what you're doing out here in the physical world. That's what you're doing. Okay, so what's next in career and finances? Okay, so there's a couple things here. What's coming through is, how do I want to phrase this? Sometimes the words don't come so easy. So apparently there might be this lingering question or curiosity for you as to how you apply this new embodiment for yourself, or how you bring this or integrate this into your work, or how you make this change. Remember I was saying earlier, just a moment ago, that you kind of have these questions going, or these curiosities about how this is actually going to look in your life. How is it going to show up? How are you going to manifest these changes? And it's showing you here, what are the things that sort of like upset you or unnerve you or move you, maybe that spark that awareness around injustice. Like tapping into that, because that'll tell you where the need is, where the demand is, but also what your niche or niche, however you pronounce it, it can tell you where that is. Okay, so in the beginning, oftentimes when we're seeking out our purpose path, our purpose work, our life's path, we don't even know like who we are. And if we find that out and you're finding it yourself in a place of personal power, great. So you finally know who you are, right? But then it's like, okay, now what? And so this card is pointing you to, okay, you want to know how you can best apply yourself. You want to know how you can best implement your gifts. You want to know how you can serve and show up in a way that actually helps and benefits people in a way that they will pay. So again, I'm getting entrepreneurship for some of you. I'm getting your own business or purpose path or purpose work for some of you. That's not going to be the case for all of you. In some ways or in some cases, this might inform your creative expression or how you show up in service outside of your daily work or 9 to 5. But I do feel like for many of you, you're wanting to make a change and you're wanting to sort of change course in such a way that honors the wholeness and the fullness that you are, which means stepping out on your own, finding a new path or purpose path that really can support the wholeness that is you. And so you're going to ask yourself, what is it that I don't like? What is it that unnerves me about this world? What about it that gets under my skin? Because that's what's going to tell you where you would serve best. We tend to be the teacher or the coach or the mentor or whatever that we would best want for ourselves. And so when you start looking at those, sort of pain points of your own, it can inform you as to how you might also be of service for other people. There's something here about wanting to do due diligence or wanting to offer a contribution or really wanting to support the changes you want to see in the world. There is a bit of a visionary or a revolutionary, a trailblazer, a pioneer energy in here. And now it doesn't feel like big time rebel revolutionary spirit. Like you're a person who's definitely like, I'm going to take care of me too, make sure I have the space to take care of myself and properly breathe and so on. I'm not a martyr, but I do have a bigger purpose than just me, and I want to make sure I'm serving that. And you're asking, well, how can I best apply my gifts? How can I best apply my newfound awareness of my own personal power? It's going to be looking in those areas. Okay, yeah. So again, some of you are going through, and here we have the Tower card. It's the Oracle deck, Work Your Light, but this is the Tarot card essentially or the Tower card that's in the Tarot. And so, yeah, you're recognizing some things need to go or some things need to change. You're going to have to let some other things go in order to create a new or to bring new things in. And so you're kind of wondering what that is and how it's all going to work out, right? We talked about that as soon as we opened, and what it's saying is listening. I know it can be frustrating at times to get that message. It's like, how long have I listened? And honestly, when we're saying that to ourselves, the God's honest truth is that we haven't really listened. If we're saying, but I'm listening and I'm doing, usually that's just your mind like ruminating and da-da-da-da-da-da. You actually haven't become a receptive vessel for what wants to come through, because more than likely you've been in the mind and looping over and over again, like about, what, and my curiosities and this, and I haven't been given any answers, and what am I going to do? So there might even be some excitement about this newfound change, this newfound revelation, this newfound embodiment, and just where you found yourself, and this really, this almost like, not urgency, but like an impatience or an eagerness to change everything and to get your life on path or in alignment, and saying, trust the path. The process will unfold. Make sure that you don't take any of what's for granted right now. Like everything's on time, everything's right on time. Create the space to really listen to yourself. And again, you might even go back to that card that we just talked about how would I best serve? How could I best apply my gifts? What are some quote unquote problems in the world that I feel like I would do really well with supporting people with. You might start looking at those questions, and that's going to support you to gain some clarity around what stays and what goes and what it is that you're trying to create. So there is going to be, there is going to be some change. There are changes on the horizon. I think you know that. And so you're sitting with this, I don't feel like it's an overdone analysis, but some definite gentle, maybe even a little bit beyond gentle analysis of, okay, so now what? How do I fix this? How do I address this? How do I change this? Because I know what I want now, and I want it now. So good for you. I mean, that right there is a really strong indicator of your personal power, of being like, I know what I want now, and I want it now. Excellent. That's exactly where you want to be. But you also want to balance out that energy with like availing yourself to that trust, to that faith, to that connection with the divine, the universe, great spirit, whatever you call it, such that you are allowing the process and following the process and allowing the path to unfold and allowing yourself to be informed by spirit. Okay, so what's next in career and finances? Okay, so I feel like in a lot of ways you are also maybe in a situation, there's a few things coming up, so I'm going to try to give words to each of these examples, and you can see what connects with your circumstances. I do feel like some of you are maybe not struggling financially, I don't want to say that, but just perhaps more is going out than what is coming in, and that can make you feel a little bit uncomfortable as to making any of the changes that you want to make. Again, because you could have changes in where you live or your residence, or you could have changes in career, or again, purpose work or path, and so that can be difficult to make those changes when you're feeling like you don't have the stability to support a shift or a transition like that. And so the message here is to get that taken care of, to get that under control. Do what you need to do to minimize the expenses, write a plan, and then follow the action steps in that plan so you meet the objectives and bring about the plan. This isn't something, it's like we step into our personal power and then we're like, okay, where is it? The pot at the end of the rainbow, I'm here now. Yes. And it's like, well, actually you're here. Excellent, like energetically, but now you actually have to do the damn thing. So it's like you set the vision, you make the plan, you set your objectives and your goals, and then you got to take the action and implement. Chop wood, carry water, baby. Chop wood, carry water, baby. Being gentle with yourself, though, with the process. Being gentle with yourself with the changes. Allowing yourself to feel those changes. Because here's the thing. Some of you, you're a go-getter right now. You're feeling ambitious, high energy, high-spirited. You're like ready. Again, you ready. Okay? The do the damn thing kind of vibe. But the thing is, you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're moving things so quickly that you're not able to fully kind of sift through and process everything that's happening and coming up for you. I'm actually feeling a lot of emotion right now because there is some loss here in some ways. You are having to let go of things that did once matter to you, even if they don't now. So I would highly recommend that you give yourself enough space to move through this quote unquote slowly enough or spaciously enough to really give consciousness and awareness to everything that's happening. There's this really beautiful quote in Elizabethtown, if you've ever seen the movie, and Kirsten Dunst, the actor, is telling Orlando Bloom, the other actor, but they're talking to each other as characters in the film, and she says, I want you to get into the deep, beautiful melancholy of everything that's happened. So she gives him this disc, this soundtrack, to carry with him on his road trip that allows him to process, to move, to feel, and to more so, more or less move through the process of grief and healing. And so getting into that deep, beautiful melancholy. And so, allowing yourself to have the space for these changes to be felt and released, because here's the thing. You can't truly move on, we'll say, if you're energetically tied still to other things, or you still have curiosities lingering about what ifs or what more, or could this have been, or whatever. If you have those kinds of questions, those things need to be addressed now so you can have a perfectly clean slate as you move forward. You don't want any of that old energy lingering with you. So you want to process that and clear that. If it's not clear, it ain't clear. So you just got to be honest with yourself about that. Again, give yourself the space to really decide, or to give yourself the space to make this transition in a wise way that honors your body, mind, spirit, all parts of you. Your inner child, the wounded child, the parts of you that might grieve, whatever. Again, you might be ready to rock, and I feel that. And give yourself the space and the breathing room to really process these transitions, because that's actually ultimately what's going to support this the sustainability of your new and next creations. That's what's going to happen for you. Now, for some of you, I feel like now this could match up earlier too, but for some of you, you are also scared of success. Some of you have a fear of success because you don't want to be taken from. So this can take a number of different forms. And for some of you, it's like you feel like if you have a lot of money, people are going to be coming out of the woodwork asking for money. Some of you feel like, oh no, if I do blankety blank and I become big, or, if I invite more of this into my life, I'm not going to have enough energy or time or care or attention for myself. In some way, I'm going to be giving, and there's going to be an imbalance, and everyone's going to be like, gimme, gimme, gimme. So please, what Spirit is asking you is to recognize that fear, and to recognize that it's like, primal / pattern / fear for you. You'll want to look at that and make sure that you aren't making any decisions or choices as you go that are relevant to that sabotage your chances at success. So it doesn't mean you have to do much with it. It's just a matter of being aware of that fear in you, or of that sort of ulterior kind of like, it's a drive that's kind of over here that's subconscious. You might be saying you want blank. I want success, or I want to be seen, or I want to be known for my work, or I want more money, whatever that is. And the subconscious drive over here, or the subconscious impulse is saying, I don't want people to take from me. You need to reconcile these to be able to walk forward into alignment and to bring about a sustainable creation into your future. That is sustainable because it's not going to be sabotaged later because you try to take all your energy back. So definitely, again, be easy on yourself with your creations, with your launches, whatever it is that you're doing. I am feeling like a venturing out, a new start, a new beginning, a new era, a new chapter. So I'm getting a lot of that kind of fool's energy from the tarot. And it's saying, allow those to unfold organically and naturally in such a way that you can process through these things, become aware of any fears that are coming up, and make proper decisions that are in true alignment with what you ultimately desire and value, as opposed to accidentally sort of self-sabotaging and self-destructing. So ultimately, this change is divinely guided. It was very much on time. If you've ever wondered why you haven't been somewhere yet, or why this hasn't happened when, and I feel old and I feel like I haven't, not all of you are going to feel old, but I'm just saying I'm giving words to this energy, and it's going to look at 1,000 different ways based on where you're at, but it's like, I've done all the things, or I'm so, I'm older and I don't have any results and I don't have anything to show for this. This was the change that was being waited. Your soul wanting to experience this up level or increase in your personal power, this newfound awareness that you were anchoring so that you could, number one, that was just something your soul yearned for you. It really wanted you to learn to take your power back and step out of victimhood, and there's a whole lot of stigma around the term victimhood. I'm only using it because it's an easy term that people tend to understand, but it might not land for you, it might not land for you. It is like a heavy term. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say on that. But what I want to say is, this was divinely guided. This is all your soul wanted for you. You might say, well, where are the results? And why hasn't this happened in my career? Why hasn't this happened in my finances? This is what you were waiting on. It was this change. It was this transformation. Taking your power back, stepping into your personal power, your awareness of your ultimate responsibility and creative ability, and pretty much recognizing that you aren't the narrator of your life. You aren't the reader of your life. You are the author of your life. You are the one who tells the story. And so your life, your soul, spirit, God, whatever, however you want to label it, needed you to recognize this, that you could step into this ultimate place of personal power, personal trust, and faith. Because now you can walk forward as a powerful creator being who can do as it pleases. But before, and the other energy you were in, it just, number one, your soul wanted you to experience this shift and transformation, so that was bound to happen no matter what. That's very clear. But the other side of this is that it wanted you to recognize that what was required for the results you were asking for was this awareness of your own personal power. This is what was needed in order to make the shifts necessary to create the results that you've been seeking. So card pile 1, wow, that was a long reading. I had no idea we'd go that long, but I sure hope it landed. Do like and subscribe if this lands and resonates for you. You can share your story or your feedback in the comments. I want to let you know I do offer both personal readings as well as coaching programs to support you in your life and your work on your spiritual path. I have an amazing program open right now, Enrolling, a year-long community to nurture your true nature and highest potential, and that is at my website, erritygreen.com/spiritwoman, and the program is called Spirit Woman. So thank you, card pile 1. Until next time. Card pile 2. So we are talking about what's next in career and finance. What's next in career and finances? Okay. So, yeah. So you have been waiting for sort of like this era that's coming about right now. This might even be the age of Aquarius. You might be someone who identifies as a star seed or a light worker. You don't have to. Those don't have to be labels that you care for or identify as, but some of you have been sort of waiting for this development. You know, your soul was kind of waiting for this just the right time in order to step into what it's going to step into. Now, I don't know what that is yet because the layers of the reading haven't unfolded well enough for me to have clarity around that. So we'll see as we move on. But I want you to know, because I think for you, card pile 2, there's just been this like waiting period or this long slow period or this like really big gap or season in your life of what the heck is going on. And like, you know, it's just maybe have been slow, you know, maybe it's been stagnant. Things haven't been picking up. Seeds either haven't been planted or they just haven't blossomed, and you're like, what the heck? Like nothing has come to fruition. Just a long period of what seems like maybe slow moving energy, and you were like, what the heck? Now that's the case for some of you. For others of you, you really didn't even pay attention to much or like care for anything in terms of anything specific, in terms of a passion or a purpose or a life path until recently. And with all the changes that have come astrologically and energetically and all the changes that are taking place on Earth, it's like, bing, a change happened in your, you know, your DNA, your awareness, your consciousness. This is very unique. Never had this come through. So very interesting for you, card pile 2. Please let me know if this lands, because this is an incredibly unique insight that I would have never known. But it's come on board. It has come online. Something has shifted in you that you're like, oh, hello. You know, it could be a renewed awakening. It could be a new awakening, meaning like this is the first time you've awakened to sort of like this pull. You're wanting, there's something new and different that's sort of pulling you or grabbing your attention or calling you or nudging you. It's not telling me what it is yet. We're going to get into it. There's this transformation that's happening, and so I see that next card coming up. But it's like your soul was meant to kind of come online and on board now. Like this is the time, this is the era. So you've either been through a long period of slow, stagnant energy, and or you haven't even fully like on board, online, awake, and in terms of like a particular vision or a particular life path, or like what you want to do or how you want to contribute or how you want to serve. Something has shifted recently where, bing, you know, now you're online, and it's because, I don't mean online the internet, I mean online like your soul, bing, you know, the light bulb has come on and you're like, oh, and it's because this was the era that you were born for. You were born for right here, right now, baby. So this must be good. I cannot wait. Let's see what's going on here. So like, I love knowing like, that's a pretty big message. Like this is the era that you were born for. Incredible. Here you are. That just makes me so happy. Okay. So moving on, so you're going through this deep transformation. This is happening again at a cellular level. So something is unique about you, card pile 2. I have goosebumps. Please do share your comments and feedback. If this is landing for you, I need to hear from you. I really do, because I've never gotten into DNA or at this level or like talking about cellular change and things like that for people based on the new energies that are coming through, especially astrology. That very rarely comes in. So something came on board or online is in the process, and you're changing at a deep level. Some of you are valuing health more, I'm getting, so you're caring more about your physical body. Some of you are caring more about your digestion. That came through very clearly. This is a very clear read. This is for some, I don't know. This is so specific. It's insane to me. But some of you need to pay attention to your digestion, and or you already are, and you're wondering what's going on. Your body's making shifts to accommodate this lighter energy. So your body's moving energy. You guys, it's never been this specific. It's blowing my mind right now. You guys are blowing my mind. So you're moving energy in your body to accommodate for lighter energies, and it's causing maybe some cramping or some bloating and just digestion issues. Please know this is you know, ultimately good, right? It turns out good. In the long term, it's a positive change. And a lot of this is happening again at the cellular level, the physiological level, the biological level to support these lighter energies. You're being asked to pay more attention to your health so that you can ground these energies, anchor them in, and actually do what you came here for. Don't know what that is yet, but we're going to get into it. Maybe you know or have an inkling of an idea. I don't think you know yet clearly. I think some of you have an idea. You're feeling different. You're feeling maybe more called towards something or nudged or something like that, but the change hasn't fully landed yet. And that's what I'm saying. This is energetically arising now for you, and there's changes happening. It might be affecting your physical body, your digestion. It's moving energies to accommodate lighter energy, so you might be going through some emotional clearing and healing as well. You might be even doing some cleanses or detoxes for yourself. These are relevant for you. So if you're doing that, this confirms and affirms that. I'm not recommending that. I am not a doctor nor a medical professional, so I cannot recommend that. But if you are already doing that, it makes sense for what's going on here. But there is a message too to not overdo it. So if you find that you are detoxing and cleansing a lot because you're trying to like fix or resolve the issue, don't overdo it. You just want to bring yourself into balance. Let your body, support your body to do what it already wants and needs to do and will do. Instead of forcing a change, we tend to be like, oh, I'm going to force it. Your body will already bring you into balance if you can give it the right conditions and bring it into a conducive container that will support those changes that will already happen anyway. You do not have to force a change. Do not overdo it on the detoxes and the cleanses. This is like the most specific thing ever. This could be for one person. I don't know, but obviously it has to come through. So don't overdo it. You don't need to will or force something for your body to do something. It will if you give it the right conditions. Healthier foods, whole foods, supporting your digestion, getting really good sleep, proper hydration, all of that's coming through. Okay, so you're not quite perfectly, cleanly aware of what it is that you want to do or what's coming through for you yet. So you're kind of getting familiar with this new self, maybe these new ideas or inspirations or just new insights that are coming through. Most of all, you're just kind of focusing on or recognizing that you feel a little bit different. You just feel like something different. Something came awakened, something came on board, something came online, and you're kind of sifting through that and wondering, okay, what needs to happen next? What is this for? What's happening to me kind of thing. And it doesn't have to be like it's dramatic at all. It doesn't feel like that. It just feels like you're like kind of trying to quote unquote figure out, well, what is this? You're trying to gain clarity on what this change, what it means for you and what it means for the topic here, career and finances. We're sitting here talking about health. Topic's supposed to be career and finances. Hey, this is not what's coming through for me. Apparently, this is relevant to your career and finances. So let's get to the next page. Yep. So big, bold vision. So this has already come through for you. I'm feeling like for a good majority of, or small majority of you, or a good portion, 20, 25%, or so, you guys have already had a vision land for you. And so you're aware of that, and you're working toward it. And again, you're starting at the ground level, sort of working on a healthy foundation for your body. This might become relevant to your work. I don't know, but it's something about you're making sure that you are just properly fitted, properly suited. So like an example might be someone who's in the military or going to the police academy. They have to be in good physical shape in order to support that kind of role. And for whatever reason, that's what's coming first and foremost as a priority for you, card pile 2, or a recognition that it should, right, ideally become a priority for you because you recognize it's going to help something. It's making in these lighter energies. What wants to come online is your deepest calling. I feel like you are a person who is highly influential, will become someone who can, card pile 2, I'm feeling something for you, and I don't know why or what it is, and it almost makes me cry, but I feel like you guys have a big role to play in a lot of these shifts. That's making me cry. I have no idea. You guys have a big role to play if you choose to fill the shoes, okay? But it's going to start with your health. Your body's trying to do what it's meant to do to accommodate what's happening, and maybe you might even be resisting it a little bit or unsure, and you don't really know why you've been so focused on health or why you've had health changes or health issues. This is why this wants to anchor in. For some of you, you're going to be playing a pivotal role in the age of Aquarius. They're bringing about new Earth. God, you guys are making me cry. It's just so freaking profound, and I don't even know why. And you guys know I cry sometimes in my readings, and that's okay, but there's something I feel with you. I don't know if you guys are supposed to be famous or you guys Joan of Arc. I have no idea. But you guys are meant to play, or can. It's ultimately your choice. Spirit wants to say, this is a calling for you. This is an opportunity for your destiny. Like, this is a destiny you can claim. But ultimately, it's going to be up to you if you decide to do what's required to get here. You know what's being asked of you. Either you're ignoring it, or you haven't been sure of what it is or why it's happening or whatever. And this is why. This is because you're supposed to be filling some pretty large shoes here. Some of you, I do feel like, are on the path of fame, maybe even fortune. For some of you, that could look like sharing your voice at a very broad scale level, like globally through books or platforms and speeches. Some of you, I feel like it's, what are they called? Grassroots movements. Some of you will start something that just catches and then it just starts spreading, and that could be social media or the internet. Okay, so it's going to look different for each of you, and some of you might have a teeny tiny idea about what that could be or what that could look like based on maybe some of your visions or dreams from a child, especially when maybe you were more connected or more aware. Doesn't mean that's gone away, but again, specifically, a change has happened over the past year, at least, that has been supporting you to fill these shoes. And some of you are balking at it and resisting it, and subconsciously, it's because you fear the shoes you're supposed to fill, and you're trying to kind of get out of it or skirt around it. And the thing is, Spirit is saying you don't have to do it. You do have the free will, but you're being encouraged to fill these shoes. You're being encouraged to make the necessary changes that you need to make in order to do what you came here to do. You're meant to play a role. You're meant to be a voice. You are a pivotal, crucial, instrumental player in this age, in this era, and what the changes to come. There are bigger changes to come that are coming through, and I'm not being told what those things are, but they're saying there's a lot of changes that are to come. There's some events or whatever, and they're no different than what we've already been experiencing. Now, they may happen in a more accelerated way, meaning there's less time between events. However, like the quickening, as we might have heard in the past, however, you're supposed to play a pivotal role, and you're being asked to fill the shoes. And for some of you, for all of you, for most of you, it starts with your diet, it starts with your health, and you're already aware that the same things are happening, and this is why. Because you are meant to be a power player. Like, I don't even know how else to do it or say it or give it a word. It's like, there's some incredible energy here. Like, I got the Joan of Arc energy. Look at this. You are meant to play a role that is world changing. It's changing the world. Like, it's not just changing your life. You know, a lot of people say, when we talk about purpose, can be just true to you in the moment. Purpose is living every moment fully. Purpose is living well and loving well. Like, we get that. And purpose is also what you do for a living and things. But this is like, your purpose is world changing. You came here to change the world. It wasn't just to change just your own life or just your children's lives. If you have children or your neighboring families, you're a world changer. Like, you're bringing about global change. And in order for you to be able to hold that responsibility and the energies that want to come through to support you to be able to do this and guide you and hold and kind of cradle you properly through all of this, is to be intensely guided by Spirit. And in order to do that, you need to clear out this old shit. That's it. Okay. So, yeah. Guys, I can't. You guys see my enthusiasm here? This is like literally ridiculous. Okay, get grounded. Please start taking care of your physical body. Your physical vessel needs to be taken care of in order to bring about these greater changes. What wants to come through, the destiny that is to be claimed, it's requiring you to attend to your physical vessel. So some of you have long been focused on maybe personal growth, spirituality, awakening. And I remember, like I said earlier, some of you haven't, and this is new for you, and that's okay too. But for some of you have, and this hasn't been fully grounded through the physical body. But there's this very clear message to nourish your body, care for your body, get close to earth, stay close to earth. There's something necessary about that for you that's supporting this greater calling and mission and destiny that is developing, that is, that's unfolding, it's underway. There's this feeling that I really want to give a word to, but it's like, it's inevitable and it's happening and you're creating a space for it, okay? And there's a better word that wants to come through, but I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it, okay? So, actually, I don't even know if I have my clarifier cards with me today. I was like, let me pull my clarifier card, but I'll use the other one. Okay, yep. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So remember earlier we said that was my clarifier card. I'm so glad I was called to pull this because it really just gives us, exactly, boom. Like, what more can you say? Pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. You are meant to play a pivotal role. This could have to do with your voice, as I said earlier, whether it's on stages, whether it's writing books. In some way, you are an influencer, but I don't mean celebrity, social media influencer. I mean world changer influencer. You came here to make waves, baby, and that's what you're stepping into, but it's requiring you to own these higher vibrations through these changes in your health. There is a card here. I'm going to go ahead and share it. Nothing's coming up for me quite yet, but you know, going beyond normal, so if this lands for you, I'm sharing it. But the only thing that I do get for this is that there's a lot of things that you can do or ways to apply yourself. And then there's like, bing, remember we talked about something coming online and something coming on board? And I feel like that's what this picture demonstrates, is like, you know, there's all these like little minion kind of pawn-like jobs or paths or whatever you could take, and those are relevant or whatever. But, and like all these changes have already happened, but this is the big kahuna, the full Monty. It's either an idea or something that eventually lands for you that then just blows up and brings you to the top, essentially. But this can also stand for and represent sort of like how this is the change that changes everything. This is the change that changes everything. This is the seed that when planted flourishes into your highest calling, your highest potential, and your destiny. This is the seed right here. There's all these things that might have already happened in your life, but this is the big kahuna, and I think it's why your ego has been resisting it so much. Okay, so yes, ultimately we get the starseed card to finish up, and you came here, whether you identify as a starseed or not, we did open with that, so now we're coming full circle, that you came here to be an influential contributor to the changes that are to happen now and to come, earthwide, globally, amongst all people, amongst the human species. You're able to do something that creates a ripple effect that actually changes the world. So if you don't have the support right now to bring this forward, or you don't even know what I'm talking about, you're like, girl, like, I know this is me and I know it and I feel it in my bones, but like, I need the help. Please know, and this isn't just an opportunity for me to plug myself, but this is the work that I do. I support women leaders to step into their greater destinies. That's the work that I do, and that's what lights me up. And yeah, so if this is, I'm being called to share it, so I'm sharing it. If this is you, card pile 2, and you're like, I don't even know where to start, or you're like, okay, I want to do this, but again, I don't even know where to start, or I want to do this, but I know myself, I need some support to be consistent and do what I came here to do, please reach out to me. You know, I do offer coaching programs for that, and if this is the work that you came here for, and this is your destiny, I feel like one of my pivotal roles is to ensure that those leaders step into that destiny. So you're a star seed. Whether you identify with that, it doesn't matter, but it means you came here with a vision, you came here with a plan, you came here with a mission, and you are here to do the damn thing, and you're going to do it, and you're going to do it well. So let me see what else. Okay, so do not let any unworthiness fears get in your way. Do not let deservingness, that's irrelevant. It's small talk, it's nothing, it's pointless. Do not give the time of day to this. I talk about inner work and shadow work a lot in my other card readings. If you follow me, you've heard me talk about this stuff before, how you deal with worthiness and deservingness and all that stuff. Again, if you don't know, you can reach out to me, but here's the thing. Spirit does not want you focusing on this BS. It's all BS, and there's no more time for it. You're supposed to be filling your shoes and not filling your mind with literal BS. That's from the past, that is irrelevant. These are expired programs, old conditioning, irrelevant, it's nonsense. Call it self-sabotage. Identify it for what it is and leave it behind, because something wants to be built here. There's momentum that is taking place that's requiring you to flow with it, to let go and to do what needs to be done in the moment so that you can bring about this greater quickening, play your part to this big kind of explosion finale that wants to happen for you, but also for the world. Not that you're ever late or not on time, but it's like the energy is trying to pull you, and you've been holding yourself back for a lot of reasons, trying to avoid this big calling, trying to avoid this greater success, trying to avoid, being seen, trying to, say that, oh, I'm not worthy and I don't know if I can do it. Of course, all subconscious. You might not even be aware of that this is happening, but this has been holding you back. It just needs to be thrown, like baby out the bathwater, into the wash, bye-bye. Like, don't give any attention to it. It's irrelevant. Identify with and recognize and own your work, your mission, your calling as a star seed or a soul being, human being that's here to help change the world. Continue to align with and identify with that. Let everything else literally just go away with the wind. Like, I'm feeling like I'm trying to give words to it, just like that just flows out, like no problem, flows out. Just don't give attention to it. Don't get caught up in it. Don't give your time and attention and energy to it. You're getting hung up on and hooked on things that are irrelevant, that mean nothing for you, that are just zip, zero, none. Like, you're way bigger than this, baby. Way bigger than that judgment. It's honestly, Spirit's like just saying it's so beyond pointless that I don't even need to talk about it. So, all of that to say, card pile 2, one of the most riveting, if that's a proper word to use here, readings I've ever done. I do want to hear from you if this lands for you. If this was your pile, please do reach out. I just want to talk to you. Whether or not you want to work with me or not. I do have all of my contact details below. There's something important here, and I want to make sure that you have clarity, and I want to make sure that you're moving, if that's what you choose. So card pile 2, you are an awakener, a world changer, a new age earth bringer, and you're here to do the damn thing, and your next step in career and finances is getting healthy, well grounded, and nourishing your physical body to hold and anchor in these frequencies so that you can do what you came here to do, baby. Okay, and success does come with this. All right, thank you, card pile 2. Again, please do reach out if this lands and resonates for you. Like and subscribe if you liked this reading. As I said earlier, I do offer both personal readings as well as coaching programs to support you in your life and your work and your spiritual path. I so look forward to seeing you if you decide to reach out, and I will see you next time. Okay, card pile 3. What's next in career and finances? So, okay. So I feel like you're stepping into an era of perhaps more bounty, more harvest. You're stepping into an era of a promotion or more pay or more material wealth. So in your career and finances, well, one of two things is happening, if not both, because some of these might be both. Some of you are shifting gears into a career or a path or a purpose work or purpose path that actually honors what you are and what you want, and honors your values and aligns with what you want, such that you're able to receive from that, and it's actually something that nourishes your soul and your spirit and your vibration, like the vibration that you desire to embody and to own and operate with. And it's like something that can actually light you up, enliven your spirit, nourish you, nourish your soul. And then for some of you, I'm also feeling this, it also equates then to an increase in material wealth, finances, if you so desire. This could also look like a promotion for some. I am feeling that very clearly, so I want to make sure I share that for those of you who that could be around the corner or on the horizon, or for some of you it's already underway and happening now and you're already aware of it. But there is a greater opportunity or enhanced opportunity right now for receiving. So you're expanding your capacity to receive too. You're recognizing the things that don't light you up, that don't nourish your soul, that don't fill you or fulfill you, and you're saying, no, this isn't going to work for me, and I'm making this necessary changes in order to experience more, in order to receive more. So some of you, that could be, again, promotion, higher pay. Some of you are also switching gears, changing careers, changing purpose paths. You might even be going out on your own or seeking out an opportunity that aligns more with your soul's purpose, your soul's mission, your soul's calling. And you may not even be sure quite yet what that's going to look like or what that is for you, but it is in your awareness and it's on your priority list. Like it's something that you're actively attending to and working to build or create or make space for. So again, it depends on where you're at on your journey, but something is coming up, if not already underway, because that feels like a good majority energy, 40% of you, like this was already underway. You're in the process of switching gears or changing careers, or stepping into something that is more nourishing and wholesome and supportive for you. You're stepping into an opportunity for greater material wealth and an increase in your finances. If you're not, of course, the advice would be to do so, to start exploring the ways in which you can choose a career, choose a path, choose a life path, purpose work that does honor who you are and what you want and what you need. So that's really important too. If you're finding, well, Errity, that's not true at all, that's not happening for me, then that's your opportunity to decide it is going to happen for you and start doing the work of deciding what doesn't nourish you or support you any longer, what needs to go, so that you can make changes to honor what it is you truly deserve. So let's see what's coming up here. What's next in career and finances? So I want to pull a clarifier card here so I have a little bit more. Yeah, so you're being called. Yeah, you're being called. As I pull out, answer the call. So you are being called towards something else. Again, something that's more nourishing, that creates an opportunity for you to receive more, to enjoy yourself more, something that's more enriching and fulfilling, something that's even healthier for you, something that honors your rhythm, your flow, what you want, what your values are. If you're in a, highly driven corporate setting that's go, go, go. Now I'm not getting that as a clear example. Sometimes I just get the energy and I have to create the examples, and sometimes the words just flow out. So I'm creating some examples based on what's coming through. And for some of you, it is, like I said, you could be in like a corporate kind of position or blue collar or something, and you're like, this is just not tending to my needs, this is not meeting my needs, this does not light me up, this is draining, this is exhausting. Start looking at how you might need to plan for a shift, a change, because it's not saying, okay, take this leap and just say bye and good luck to you, figure out how to pay your bills. No, it's saying, okay, recognize what doesn't honor you. Start exploring what does honor you, and then start making the aligned changes step by step that bring about this reality that does serve and honor and support you, because you're meant to receive. You are meant for more in this life card pile 3, more than what you've allowed yourself to have. You are meant for more wealth and abundance and prosperity and success than what you've allowed yourself to have. You are meant for more nourishment and honoring and receiving than what you've allowed yourself to have thus far. So card pile 3, you're meant to be aligning with that new path, aligning with something that is more nourishing, aligning with something that is something that brings about more wealth and opportunity and harvest for you, but you're going to be the one who has to make that choice. Now it's saying to also for those of you that, I don't feel like this is for all of you, this is a good 25% though, you might fear making some of these changes, and that's natural because there are practical realities and considerations in our world, and that's something that we can't ignore. And it's saying you are divinely supported. If you decide to make these changes that are in alignment with your soul, with your spirit, with your calling, with your mission, with your sacred duty, with your sacred allowing and permission to receive and to experience abundance, it's saying if you do that, you will be supported, and you can ask for support from spirit. When you ask, you shall receive, and they want you to build that trust too and continue to make decisions that align with your own nourishment and your own receiving, so that you can then see how, when you make those decisions and make those choices, that life does give you the reward. It does give you the return it gives you that return of profit for all that you've given. And so it's saying, ask for the help, ask to receive whatever it is you might need, but it's saying like you can trust and that you are supported to make the necessary changes to bring these changes into your life. And the reason I'm sharing that, and I feel like it might be relevant, so something interesting here too, but I just had a interesting vision or perceptual experience here, so things are just coming through very clearly today. But it's saying like, if for some reason you've doubted yourself or doubted this change or thought that maybe it's not possible for you or it's just too much to take on or whatever, it's saying you are supported. You can trust yourself. This is a divinely supported change. This is a divinely guided change. The Spirit wants you to make this change. Your soul wants you to make this change. So know that you are supported, okay? And to trust that. Yeah, because you're moving through a time where you're sort of blossoming into a greater spiritual maturity, this evolution of yourself and spirit that yearns for more, that knows it's capable of more, that has given itself permission to experience more. And it doesn't mean like more things and tasks and responsibilities to manage, but you get to receive more love, more affection, more abundance, more energy of all forms. Like, you're allowing yourself, it's actually like a spiritual awakening or a spiritual evolution, and the soul being able to experience it's infinite nature in here, but out here. So it's like being able to manifest the soul into the physical reality in a limitless or infinite way, such that you're no longer limiting yourself or believing that you aren't capable or you can't have or you can't enjoy or you can't experience. Like, growing out of those old restrictions, growing out of those old patterns of limitation, and really allowing yourself to experience sort of more luxury, the luxury of life. And it doesn't mean it has to be actually luxurious in the traditional sense, but just the beauty, the glory of life, the abundance that's right here, the riches of earth, the riches of human life. It's like all of that is available to you, and you're being asked to sort of shift into an experience that allows for you to receive more of that. So that whether that's slowing down, creating more space for yourself, taking care of yourself, taking care of your body, being present with loved ones, allowing yourself to receive love in even the simplest of ways, the simplest of moments. Now, this is going to go against your conditioning. That's why it's been a challenge for you. Your conditioning has been to do the thing no matter what, will it to fruition, force it to happen, make it happen, do it quickly, get it done, do it now, get it all done yesterday. And so this does bring up some issue for you in terms of, like, you might even recognize this desire and yearning and even value of receiving that you desire for yourself, and yet you have this conditioning that's saying, go, do, will it into fruition. It's like it goes completely against, like, counters very powerfully your conditioning in terms of your childhood and just young adulthood or wherever you're at in your life, that was saying to do all these things and to be the initiator as opposed to the receiver. And it's saying, as you have flourished and grown spiritually, you're recognizing a greater opportunity to also receive, to not always be the one doing, not always be the one initiating, not always being the one doing the thing. Like, instead, sometimes it's about, like, receiving. That's the other half of the equation. And so for some of you, this will be going flying directly in the face of your conditioning, but that's the point, and this is what your soul wants to expand into. And it doesn't mean you're not going to be able to be a worker bee as desired or make changes or do things. It just means you're just going to be balancing out the whole and integrating more of that feminine nature, that softer essence, that receiving nature, so you can actually experience the fruits of your labor as you so deserve. So yeah, learning to say no is a part of the process of receiving your full harvest and bounty too. So what can you say no to? What can you cut out? What can you limit? What can say no to? What can you decline? So part of your opportunity and part of your journey, and I know this is supposed to be what's next in career and finances, but it's saying, Spirit wants you to align your life with a path, with a job, with a career, with with whatever, you know, whatever way you're applying yourself, with a livelihood that truly not nourishes and honors yourself and your spirit. So if that's not happening, that's what's coming next, and that's how you're going to bring about more wealth. That's how you're going to bring about more abundance. That's how you're going to bring about greater success. And that for you flies in the face of what you've been taught, which is success requires work and it requires labor, and you have to do these things and you have to overwork. So there's going to be some kind of inner work, shadow work to do there, to recognize these beliefs as they come up, recognize these habits as they come up, and to make a new choice to not do those things. So that is going to require some effort, some work, some awareness for you. And the other part of the work is setting those boundaries and deciding where you can say no to things to create space. Because you might ask yourself, okay, well, sure, how? How do I actually say no? Especially because it goes against your conditioning. So you're going to think this is impossible, because that's all your mind can see is what you know. And it's saying, well, it starts with saying no to things. What can you say no to? What can you delegate? What can you not prioritize? What can you just say, it doesn't matter right now, okay? What can you say no to in order to create more space for yourself? And some of these things are going to be tasks that are whatever, that you think you have to do, that you think you have to prioritize, and Spirit's saying, nah, you know, be real, be honest. Does this need to get done, and does it need to get done right now? And are you being honest with yourself? And can you just say no to this? What's actually necessary, what's not, you know? What does bring about nourishment for you, what doesn't? And making choices as to what you choose in terms of your life path and your career from here, based on what nourishes you. If it nourishes you, the answer is yes. If it drains you or exhausts you or feels like it's taking from you, it's a no. And that's how you're going to align with a reality, a path that then brings in that material wealth and abundance, a greater wealth and abundance, a success, and all the sort of things that you've worked for over the years. And it's because you've decided you're only going to do the things where you are filled up, where you are nourished. That's going to be the decision maker, right? And you're going to be so shocked at the abundance that comes through. Look at the shock of the new. You're not going to believe what comes through in terms of creative expression and just feeling fully expressed and fully alive. Joy, bliss, the harvest, abundance, and bounty happening here. Feeling fully alive in your path and purpose. You're going to discover whether it's, again, a promotion or a new path or a launched career or something like that, a launched business, where you are stepping into your fullest expression, your purpose path, your purpose work, your voice, stepping into that voice. Maybe some of you want to be an author, I don't know. But this is what comes through as a result. The great bounty, the great vision, the great harvest. You really bring about a wealth embodiment, right? You're embodying wealth because you're in joy and in bliss. You're fully alive and in your highest creative expression. You're sexually and sensually embodied. You're connected to the body. You're connected to earth. You're connected to your voice, to your purpose, anchored into what you came here to do, and you're just really alive, connected, and embodied, and you're embodying wealth, and as a result, you're able to experience greater wealth, and ultimately, this was the divine plan for you, okay? This was your overall purpose path. It was to experience the fruits of your labor. It was to experience more success for yourself, to experience more abundance. That is what's in store for you, card pile 3, but you have to be the initiator. You have to be the one to flick the first domino. You have to be the one that says, okay, I'm going to choose alignment with this. I'm going to choose to embody wealth, which is your joy, which is your fulfillment, which is harmony, peace, love, surrounding yourself with nourishing people, nourishing environments, nourishing activities. If you own your own business, choosing things that nourish you, programs that nourish you, clients that will nourish you, price points that will nourish you. If it's a job or a promotion, a role that nourishes you, again, an environment, a workspace, people, personnel that nourish you. And to whatever degree you have control, choosing the things that nourish you as opposed to deprive you. That's your path to greater success and wealth, and that's what's next for you in career and finances, card pile 3. So if this lands for you, if you like this reading, I encourage you to like and subscribe. I also, as always, want to let you know I do offer both personal readings as well as coaching programs to support you in your life, in your work, and your spiritual path. I also have an amazing program on sale now that is enrolling until March 3rd, I believe. That is subject to change at the moment. However, it's a year-long community to nurture your true nature and your highest potential, and I'd love to see you there. And that's erritygreen.com/spiritwoman. So thank you so much, card pile 3, and I will see you next time.